Hello and welcome to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar. In this video we'll be answering the question, why use a semicolon, not a colon? Well, as you may already realise, you use a semicolon when you're linking to independent clauses without using a conjunction. For example, I travelled to Rome, semicolon, I still need to visit Mecca. You also use a semicolon when you've already got commas within a sentence for smaller separations or demarcations, and then you use semicolons to draw the difference between those smaller listed items and the bigger links. For example, we have students from Ghana, West Africa, semicolon, Vietnam, East Asia, semicolon, and Guatemala, South America. I need to be able to draw out that Ghana is found within West Africa, that Vietnam is in East Asia, and that Guatemala is in South America. That is easy to follow if I realise that Ghana, West Africa is considered one item, and the semicolon breaks that up from the next item, which is Vietnam, East Asia. So in doing so, what we're using the semicolon for is showing the bigger separations between lists of items with many details or facets. The functions of a colon are far simpler, and we use a colon when, well, you can see it already. I'm about to list the uses of a colon, and here I have a colon. So when I'm introducing a list, I use a colon. For example, I need to find 5 spices, cumin, turmeric, ginger, cinnamon, and chili powder. The other use of a colon is when you're introducing a second sentence that clarifies or adds more information to the first sentence that you mentioned. So, we have made this rule, if you are late, you will be sanctioned with a detention. When they say we have made this rule, I want to know, what is this rule? Why does it apply? How does it apply? It's what follows after the colon that explains what the rule is. It's because I'm adding clarification that I use a colon. Now it's your turn. For each of the 3 sentences, consider if the punctuation and grammar is accurate, and hit pause if you need thinking time. So how did you get on? I need 5 colouring pencils, green, red, blue, yellow, and purple, full stop. Well, I was about to introduce a list. When I said I wanted 5 colouring pencils, I'm listing the exact colours I want, so that's correct, because the function of the colon is to introduce a list. Let's look at number 2. I'm looking at a recipe. Method, semicolon, melt butter and add flour before mixing. Unfortunately, this is incorrect. If I'm about to clarify what the method is and begin to share the instructions, it should not be a semicolon. Instead, no, it should be a colon after the word method. So it should say method, melt butter and add flour before mixing. Because I'm clarifying what the initial method is. Or you could argue I'm listing what the instructions are as well. Finally, they showed us monkeys, mammals, semicolon, chameleons, reptiles, semicolon, and toads, amphibians. As you may have come to expect already, here we have semicolons breaking up the big links between each of the animals that we're referring to. So this is used correctly. The monkeys are mammals, hence why they're grouped together with a comma between monkeys and mammals and then a bigger semicolon, because that's a very different creature to the next one listed, which is the chameleon, which is a reptile. Hence we know the difference between what's listed first, before the comma, and what's listed after it, before the semicolon. In essence, a colon is used to list information and add clarification on the first sentence through the second sentence. A semicolon's function, as you already know, is to break up 2 independent clauses without a conjunction, and also to break up big lists by breaking it down into smaller sections with commas and then bigger chunks through the semicolon. In essence, though, not knowing the difference between these two very different types of punctuation is a very common grammatical mistake. And if we don't apply them correctly, it affects not only our clarity, but how seriously people take our views and opinions. Why not subscribe to Miss Hannah Loves Grammar for all things English, literary and grammatical?